G'day, hi and welcome. Okay, well, I guess the other clock's wrong. I'll screw up here. Yeah, okay, I got one clock saying it's 7:30, got one clock saying it's 6:30, but it feels more like 7:30, so it's like, okay, that kind of threw me off a bit. Okay, it's like, because I shut down my computer, I was like, oh, it's time to go, right? And I'm like, okay, no problem. Then I looked at my other clock, and I guess my other clock's starting to wear out. I'll put up these windows a little. I guess about there. I know you guys don't like the wind, so yeah. So I'm assuming it's 7:30. So okay, then it's proper time. Here I am thinking I'm gonna. Kind of felt like a little later. So I know that clock is never wrong. So yeah, 7:30. It's not 6:30. Doesn't feel like 6:30 anyway, so alrighty. So yeah, there we go. Ready to go. So that means I got my battery's probably dead in my other clock. That's probably what it is. Alright, so that kind of threw me off. But alright, no big deal. Alright, jam night number 7. Is this number 6 or number 7? I think it's jam night number 7, to be honest with you. And it's going to be a mandolin night. Not going to be a violin night. It's not going to be a guitar night. It's going to be mandolin night. Who's out there? Cousin's out. Okay. So what have I got for tonight? Well, obviously I got the mandolin. I worked Monday, so today and yesterday I worked on some songs, and I'm going to go with... Oh, what's this little kitty cat? We got a little kitty cat. I'll flatten you. Anyway, been one of those days, kind of an odd day. I didn't have a bad day today, but it just seems like the world had a bad day today. It must be the heat or something getting to people. It's like everybody seemed to be in a grumpy mood today. Although I didn't interact with too many people, but it doesn't matter because it's jam night and I'm going out. But yeah, it's like the news is bad, everything's bad. Jam night makes everything better. But I did get some really good news tonight. A big load of hay. Holy, that's a lot of bales of hay there. My old bass player Dave, I don't think Dave watches any of my videos, but if he did, way to go, Dave. Nice to pick up the axe again, you know what I mean? He's like, kitty cat there? Are they burying a body in that here? What? I think they're burying a body there. Who knows? Like I say, maybe some people had worse days than I. Like for me, I didn't have a bad day. I just had this vibe that everybody was in a bad mood today. I'm in a good mood, but you know, it's just kind of like one of those things. Like everybody seems bummed out. It doesn't bum me out, but it's just like I like to see people upset. You know what I mean? And just the way the world is. That's why you got to follow this channel and get some perspective of happier stuff, right? But anyway, yeah. So my old bass player announces that he goes, since, like mind you, him and I haven't been in the same band together in over 20 some odd years. Since 1998 was the last time we jammed on some chords, the last time we were on stage together. And he's taken up photography and all that stuff. He used to be the bass player for a band called Annihilator. If you want to see a cool song, it's called Alice in Hell. Yeah. He helped write that song, but he got kicked out of the band, or he left the band, or he never really told me all the details on it. You know, it was a bit of a sore spot for him. But he was with Annihilator, and they were a cool band. I think they still play around, you know, like around these areas from time to time. The guys must be, those guys, I know they're old, because if I'm old, they're old. Those guys were older than me. But anyway, I don't know if you saw me or heard me. I don't know if they heard me or not. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, yeah, he's like, yeah, he goes, after my last band in 2004, I've decided to, you know, start writing music and doing that stuff again. And he's actually a pretty good bass player. There's no doubt about that. And he wasn't a bad songwriter. Like for, I'd come up with a guitar line. He goes, well, okay, well, how about we add this change, and this change. And he was kind of like a bit of a Steve Harris, you know what I mean? Like from Iron Maiden. And yeah, he really used to add some good bridge pieces to the songs, because he wasn't just a guitar player playing bass. He was a bass player, right? So he used his fingers, not just to pick all the time, you know? And so he'd had some of the coolest bridge pieces. And I remember I came up with a thing, and he's just like, oh, that's a cool riff. He goes, show me the riff. So I showed the riff, and then I say, okay, come back like a week later, and I got something for that, you know what I mean? And you do that, and I just remember, it's like, Dave, what do you got? He's like, yeah, check this out. He goes, remember you did this? Yeah, add this and this and this to it. I changed the key, I did this, I did that. And it was like really cool that he was like in that. So when I heard that he was going to start songwriting and stuff again, I wish him the luck, because he did well with his photography. Now, mind you, he's miles and miles and miles away. He's like, I think, far side of Toronto now. But I definitely would love to see. I don't like seeing people give up their passions. You know, even if it's for another passion. You know, you drop the guitar and you pick up the camera. Okay, yeah, you're displacing passion, so I get that. Whatever, and you're still doing something creative. But when it comes to a musical instrument, for me, my heart's in it, right? Like, it's like, yeah, never give it up. I told the story on this channel and other channels many times about how I didn't play guitar for 3 years out of my life. And when I dusted off that old Les Paul and started playing, and I played for like 3 hours straight, and I told myself I would never do that again. You know, I would make time every week. And that was over 2 decades ago. That was actually just a little bit after, I left the band. We were in a band called Syndicate. And when I left that band, it was just like, I was working night shift. I was doing, I was just doing the life stuff, right? And, I wasn't adulting well, wasn't indulging. It was just, the daily grind and, whatever. And it just wasn't right. It was hollow. And then one day, like I say, nobody was home, and I just magically actually had a day off. I worked like 2 years straight without a day off other than Christmas Day. Like 2 years straight, Christmas Day, that was it. And then the second year, I forget what happened. It was a mandatory holiday or whatever, and I just actually had a day off. I think one of my bosses said, no, Reg, take a day off. He says, you're working 3 jobs. He says, take a freaking day off. You're not allowed to come into work tomorrow. He says, we're not going to be at home anyway, so, whatever. And I took the day off, and I remember there just happened to be nobody home, and there was my Les Paul and my Hamburg guitar was still sitting in the case. And I'll just play a couple of chords. Guitar was horribly out of tune. I dusted it off, and the dust on it was like that thick stuff like you see in a basement that like you almost get allergic reactions to right away. It was that the strings were rusty, so I polished off the guitar. At first I just started off polishing the guitar, and then I played it was out of tune, so I thought I'd better tune it. And then I'll just do a couple of chords. Well, while there's nobody home, I'll plug in the Mesa Boogie, and at the time I had a Randall amp, and I did that. Fired the thing up. Next thing you know, I'm like cranking out freaking AC/DC tunes, some of the old originals. I can't even remember them now that we were doing, and some of the bands. And it was just to put a grin on my face. It charged me up, and I was just like, never ever let that go again. Never let that light die. And when I see somebody come back to it, I know what they're in for. I know that they're going to enjoy that hiatus, breaking that hiatus. So I don't know how often he's playing his thing, but I know he's going to enjoy going on the stage again. I know he's going to enjoy writing songs again. So good for Dave. Right on, Dave. As for me, since that time when I dusted off my Les Paul after 3 years, there's yet to be a week where I don't pick up an instrument. I really don't remember a time not picking up my instrument since then. I guess like the saying goes, you don't know what you got until it's gone, right? And then when you realize how much you missed it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Don't take things for granted. Appreciate life, just appreciate it. Appreciate the things you're able to do that others can't. Appreciate the things that you're fortunate enough to be still able to do. Yeah. And of course, tonight I was listening to Teresa's again. That band is so freaking infectious. If you're having a bad day, okay, I want you to listen to the song. I don't care if you don't like metal or not. This is Dr. Reg prescribing this to you. I want you to listen to the song Stand Up and Fight. I don't care if you're a country western guy or whatever. I want you to listen to those lyrics and get the meaning of that, because it is very... 3, 2, 1. Jeffy's out. Who's that? And anyway, yeah. So it's like I'm like, yeah. It's one of those things. One of those songs. I was listening to it tonight. And I'm like, that's what people need to hear. They need to hear more of that. What, the speed limit's not fast enough for you? Holy jeez. Okay, Andretti. Everyone's always in a rush. That car's still going. That's a. I wonder what the mileage was on the guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but I've known him for years. But I can never think of his name though. But yeah, he's been driving that car a good decade now. Yeah, keep it alive. Keep the spirit alive. Here's a good song from you, Killer Dwarfs. Keep the spirit alive. I'm gonna have to play that one. That one would be a great mandolin tune, just because of the energy of it. So what am I doing tonight on the mandolin? Well, tonight, I have new songs, but they're not new. Two songs I've been playing forever and ever and ever, and I have performed them live before, just never at the Cafe 1870. I'm going to be performing because stupid me forgot to turn on the GoPro last week. It looks like I'm going to be doing a do-over, which I don't like to do because the summer's short, and I'm not going to get so many of these jam nights until I get a gig. But I'm going to do Cowboys from Hell again. And tonight I think it's going to really got to be a genre shock because it sounds like there's a, not a quartet, what do you call three there? I don't know who she was sitting out there, but hello. Anyway, yeah, there's that, which went over well last week. Last week was a pretty wild week. I think it's going to be a mellow night tonight, just my hunch. But then again, it could be crazy because of the heat. Like, I think it's one of those things that everybody's going to be burnt out today because of the heat. Like, I was just exhausted. I didn't do anything today. Like, I really didn't do anything at all today, which is kind of rare for me, you know what I mean? But it's like, no, I'm conserving all my energy for tonight. 3 songs. And that's all I'm doing. Yeah, so Cowboys from Hell, I want to get that one on. Obviously, I got the mandolin, so it should go really cool. Got a motorbike coming. For all my fellow brothers and sisters that ride, this time at 7:45 at night, that guy without his headlight on, I would not be able to see him. And I'm a biker. I'm watching for them. So just make sure, yeah, whenever it gets the evening, make sure you got that headlight on. Don't, you know, because nobody can see it. You know, especially on a black bike, all dressed in black. Yeah. Some girl out there in shorts. Yeah. Hope it's going to be one of those nights. But anyway, yeah, so Cowboys from Hell is song number 1. Song number 2, I was tossed up. I was going to do a slow song, which I might still do. I was going to do a real jam night special, which would be, what songs do you always hear at the jam night? And this is the only jam night where I've never heard this song. Wait, 3, 2, 1, bombs away! Fire crew guys are in there. What the? It's not Reg again. Damn that Reggie. Always with that horn. There's nobody to scare out here today. We could scare them. I don't know who that is. Is that my cousin? I can't tell who that is. Anyway, yeah, I was going to, when you go to a jam night, okay, usually in the city, you got a whole, every time you go, there's going to be, it's my first time on stage times 3 or 10. So it's like all these people, it's their first time ever playing live, right? And they're going to play Patience, Lodi, or the big 3 is going to be Patience, Take It Easy, and what would be the other one? Well, the one I'm playing tonight, Summer 69. I'm going to do it on the mandolin, and it should be really, really cool. It actually, I don't know, I just threw it out there. I played a couple of songs. I was going to do Heaven from, Cowboys from Hell from Pantera, and then go into Heaven from Bryan Adams, which I might do on it. I wasn't smooth enough with the chords. Like it's not that the chords are hard, it's that just getting the patterns to naturally flow while you're singing, because you got to do everything upside down for the guitar, right? And so I wanted to iron that one out a little bit more. That'd be more like not next week, but the next time I take the mandolin out. I've been playing that song forever too, so lyrically wise, I know where to sing everything. I almost don't even have to think about it. You know what I mean? Like you're almost on auto when you're doing that. And yeah, I guess I can pick up the pace a little. That's right. I'm out of the town now. I can get above 50. Gear change. There's no vehicle, man. The mileage 4,4,4,274. Oh, it's gonna be cool when it's all fours across the board. I don't know if that's lucky or not. But yeah, that's a lot of mileage on this thing. I baby this thing. I eco drive it. Get as much out of it as I can. But anyway, the other one is Patience that I was going to do as the slow one, or Summer 69. I'll see which way the crowd goes. I want to do Summer 69. I love doing ballads, but I don't like doing a lot of ballads. Like in a 3-hour night, I don't want to play more than 1 or 2 ballads per set. And in the third set, I do not want to play a ballad. I want party songs for the third set. I want everybody hooting and hollering, having a good time, forgetting all their world's problem. A little bit of escapism doesn't hurt once in a while, as long as we don't dwell in it too much, right? And that's kind of so. Summer '69 is, I know, is a crowd pleaser, and I don't think anybody there would probably have ever heard it on a mandolin. So the next one after that is the '80s song of the '80s. It's the 80s anthem, in my opinion. There is no other song that I believe has been downloaded more times than this song. This is the most popular song in the world at one point, where it's been downloaded more than any other song in the world. It probably still holds the title. And that is Don't Stop Believing from Journey. It sounds wicked on the mandolin. It sounds okay on the guitar, but I don't think I've ever played it on the mandolin up until this week, but it floats so naturally. As long as I don't get too ahead of myself, that one's going to come out. There's a lot of little tidbits I want to throw in there. I got to keep it pretty simple, but the lead up to it, the build up on that final course, I think is going to be epic if I get people singing along. It really depends on the crowd, but I know that's a crowd pleaser, so that's the 3 I'm going to go with, regardless of what the night is tonight. I'm kind of at that point where, take the night up, take the night down. Yeah, I could do that, but it's more of now for the building the resume with the GoPro, right? Now, somebody asked me a great question, Rex. Why don't I do weddings and stuff like that rather than jam nights and gigs? Because the gigs seem to be really hard to book. Well, that is true. Gigs are hard to book. Wedding musicians are a really tricky thing to get away with, because, and I'll tell you why. You get 2 types of people that want a wedding band. They want every song selected, which you may or may not know, okay? Or you hand them a sheet, say, this is all the songs I know, and you can pick the set list. And then you're going to be playing like 3 hours of basically slow songs, which is good, because they're nice and easy. Or you got the people that just don't care, make it a party. You know what I mean? Just remember it's all ages. So. Okay, then you get those type of people. You get those type of people. The people that are usually really lenient and don't care what you're doing, don't pay well. Don't pay well enough. But they don't pay any better than a bar. They're one-shot deals, right? So there's a lot of money to be. It's like playing on a cruise ship. If you get a gig on a cruise ship, man, you're going to be working. You're going to be working. You're going to make a ton of money, but you're going to be on a strict list. I've talked to people that played on cruise ships, and yeah, that'd be awesome. Because it's guaranteed income, but it's now a job. You know what I mean? It's now you are on contract or whatever. When it comes to a wedding, absolutely, I'd love to do it. But how far are you going to travel? I mean, it's not like there's a wedding every single, your peak wedding season is pretty much probably literally from this weekend through July, the end of July through August to early September. That's pretty much your peak wedding season. That's it, right? So that's competing with the bars and stuff like that. So then it becomes who's paying more. And to be a wedding, it's one of those things that you kind of need a promoter for that. Because a bar is stationary, right? You walk into it, you go and you talk to people, you walk out of it, you come back a week later, providing it didn't burn down, it's still there. But a wedding can be anywhere, right? So the people actually got to kind of find you. You don't find them. You know what I mean? Unless you go to a bridal shop or something like that and say, hey, look, here's my card. Can you put it up on your wall? And if people call me, they call me. If they don't, they don't. So it's a little bit of a weird, it's a hustle. Sure. But, and like I say, like some wedding bands can make thousands of dollars in a night depending on the wedding. But it depends on, you know, what you're going to do. You know, if you're talking a really up-end wedding, you're probably not talking rock and roll. You're probably talking, you know, classical music, jazz, something like that. So if you're not into that genre really well, you're probably not going to be getting hired. They're probably more likely to hire a DJ. I mean, I've yet to go to a wedding where there was a live band, maybe one, and I've been to a lot of weddings. I love weddings. I've been a wedding photographer many times. I freaking love weddings. It's such a happy time, you know what I mean? The bridesmaids are all pretty cozy. You know, love the bridesmaids poses. Not all of them you could show. Yeah, they can get pretty raunchy. Whatever. But you get what I'm getting at, that it's one of those things that, you know, it's a different platform that you're trying to get into. You don't know where you're going to be. If I'm here and then somebody wants to hire me on the far side of Toronto, I'm going to have to charge them a gazillion dollars to go there to play, and they're going to have to put me up for the night because I can't drive back from Toronto the same night I play a gig. It's an 8-hour drive, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen, right? I really don't feel like sleeping in my vehicle. So it's a different type of setup. So you're talking a whole new ball game. And the people that usually do the weddings usually are going to have to cater to a variety of crowd, typically an older crowd. They usually have to be a lot quieter, which again is not a problem. Softer music is typically easier to play, sometimes. Jazz can be softer, but not necessarily easier to play. Blues, well, you know, yeah, usually you're looking at a different type of band. You're not looking at a rock and roll band. Like, I mean, you're looking at usually like piano and a singer, or like a quartet, you know, violin, cello, viola, etc. You know, double bass, something like that. You're looking at a different type of thing. Now, country band weddings are a different story. Country band weddings, yeah, those guys can, you know, but those are usually cousins. You know, cousin John brought his banjo and, you know, just offered to play Billy Bob's wedding. You know what I mean? Yeah, usually that's a family affair. You know what I mean? That's called a shindig. They're awesome. Show up. You're going to love it. You know, they'll treat you like family. Who are you? I don't know. You're related? No. I just heard the banjo. Just coming in and see what's going on. Oh, fuck. Have a piece of cake. I'm telling you that from experience. I say that with all dignity and pride. What a great night. I love weddings. Especially when you show up to the friggin' reception accidentally. That's happened to me, I think, twice. Right? You know, oh, looks like there's a house party. My buddy and I'd go in and we'd be like, what's going on? I was like, why are you guys dressed so grubby? It's a freaking reception. Oh, well, you're here now. You might as well have a beer. But make sure if you crash the wedding, don't do it too early. They'll kick you out. Wait till about 10:30 when everybody's had a bit, and then they're more upset. It's like, why are you here anyway? You're allowed to have a beer. You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. Don't do it early in the night. Hey, you got your invite? No, get out. Get the hell out. Yeah. No, wait till everybody doesn't care about the invite, you know? Yeah. Or they're so drunk, you can grab the guy's invite and show it to him and say, hey, yeah, pull it out of his own pocket. Yeah, is that good? Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, you can have one of those nights, dude. Who knows where you'll end up, right? You just never know where you'll end up sometimes. But, yeah, that's a great venue. It's a different venue. I've talked to people that have done it a while back. it's tough. And also, too, the thing about a bar, okay, people have low expectations in a bar. Wedding's not the same. Wedding, you have people, the mother-in-law, the mother, the father, the father-in-law to deal with. And they could be the most pleasant people in the world. Or they could be the most anal, retentive people in the world. How do I know this? I've done wedding photography. Trust me, you're going to have people guiding you every step of the way of what you can and cannot do. And what we want you to do. Oh, you need to take a picture of that. Oh, you need to do it. You know, and you kill them with kindness, and you just do it. You know, you just do it. But yeah, you know, like when they pay the bill, they own you. You know what I mean? They own you. Bar is different. Bar, people are there to escape. They're not there. There's no expectation. So just it's something that, you know, if you're not ready for it, it can catch you off guard, and it can make it a really great night or not. So you have to be extremely ass-kissingly diplomatic when you're doing that stuff. Most of the time, I'd say there's only one wedding I did where, it was the grandmother actually was really, 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 you know, she was making sure her granddaughter got her money's worth, you know what I mean? And the granddaughter, well, I worked with her, so she was like, all right, you're doing fine, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you don't even have to keep doing all the candidates, you know, we just wanted the wedding part. So, no, it's part of my job, you know. And, you know, it was a fun night. That was a fun night. But, yeah, the grandmother was making sure that, I was up to standard, you know what I mean? It's like, but, you know, it is what it is. I mean, she was a nice lady, just, she was very specific, very specific. So if you're not a diplomatic person and you don't know how to kill people with kindness and be a people person, or if you take things extremely personally, and in this day and age, a lot of people do, the wedding band won't be for you, wedding photography won't be for you. Remember last week I was talking about country bars and stuff like that, and how specific they can be. It's kind of like that, but with tuxedos. You know, it's kind of like that, but with tuxedos. So, with that said, I'm more inclined to be the guy to do the bars for now, because they are easier to get into, and repeat business is easier. So if I can book a gig here, book a gig there. Again, my biggest holdback is my finances of running around to get the gigs. The second holdback I have is I don't have a big, powerful PA system to really pull off a gig that I want to pull off, right? It's always slow getting it going. Your first gig is almost the most impossible one to get. But after you get your first gig, it seems like everyone after that, like, it just breaks the curse. You know what I mean? And you're able to get the gig. But there's also, too, like, getting a gig is one thing. Getting a gig and paying that's the hard one. And getting paid well enough to make it worthwhile. I mean, even if it covers your night, it's not so bad. You know, you'll still have a good time. But it's nice to make money at it. You do have to treat this like a business. And it's, like I say, it's like anything. You just have to really plan things out, you know, and do a lot of research. You got to knock on a lot of doors. You got to talk to a lot of people. Oh, Shelby Cobra. Nice. There's a red and white Cobra. I'm going to have to hook up a dash cam on this sucker. It's not like I have a GoPro or something that I can do that, right? Yeah, I'm going to have to get the 128 gig memory and the so like that was I'd love to have one of those. Little Shelby Cobra, 60s Shelby Cobra. Nice. But yeah, the bar thing I think is the easier one to get, the safer one to get, and the easy one to repeat business. Like in town, I would already have probably 10 gigs by now, because I'd be able to spend a day just, you know, I wouldn't even bother taking the vehicle. I'd just, you know, go downtown, never mind the parking, just take a bus. I just spend the whole day, you know, do everything by foot and just knock on this door, knock on that door. Hey, you guys, you know, and a lot of times, almost every place I've talked to says, yeah, we have live music, but it's the guy you need to talk to, the girl you need to talk to, the coordinator. is never there, and when they're there, they're always so busy. So you really have to do a lot of follow-up to get through to people. A lot of times they don't have a regular schedule, so you never know when they're coming in. So sometimes it's just hit and miss. And if you're too much of a pain in the ass, you'll never get the gig. So there's a finesse about it too. So is what it is. And right now I'm in peak season for getting a gig. I'm more thinking for next year. Like if I can get at least 2 or 3 gigs in August, that would be cool. If I could get 3, I would consider that a major success. If I could get 9 or 12 gigs, play, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 weeks in a row, there's potential there. A lot of potential there. The other thing is to partner up with somebody that's already gigging. As a guy playing the mandolin, I could probably get somebody. It's like a bass player. Like, trust me, violin players, there's always somebody looking for a good fiddle player. Mandolin player, there's like 4 of us on the planet. That's it. I'm not even kidding. There's like 4 of us on the planet. And we just take turns. You know what I mean? There's Bill Monroe, Marty Stewart, some other guy, and me. That's it. That's the only mandolin players on the planet. That's what it seems like. You know what I mean? It's like accordion players. Like, somebody's got them. I mean, somebody's buying the damn things. Where are they? It's like a Spice Girls album. People have them, but they won't show you. They won't tell you it's just in the second shelf. I mean, so anyway, let's talk about the weather or something. Come on, the tunes were catchy. Tell me what you really, really want. Yeah, I can't believe I just hummed the Spice Girl song. Our Spice Girl discussion is over, okay? But anyway, yeah, so a mandolin Spice Girl playing guy, yeah, you're never going to get, no one's ever going to come out and fess out to that, right? So, all kidding aside, I think they're actually coming out with a new album or something. I don't know. I never followed the Spice Girls, but it was always a running joke. It's like all these metalheads are masquerading to, I remember one of my friends. She goes, "All these metalheads, they're always like playing tough, and they hate like the boy bands. They're compensating for something." I said, "Yeah, they all got Spice Girls albums in their shelf somewhere. They're just like trying to overcompensate for it." Oh, I got a good laugh out of it. Yeah. I wonder what death metal Spice Girls would sound like. That would be funny as shit. It would be. I mean, I'd do it. I haven't heard heavy metal ABBA yet. That would be really funny. That would be really funny. That would be just, especially Super Trooper. Like just sitting there like double bass, Super Trooper. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be epic. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna have to do a death metal version of Super Trooper. Yeah, there we go. But anyway, I don't know how we got onto Spice Girls now, but we're there, right? It's happened. It's happened on this channel. The winner takes it all. There we go. Yeah. And you got to take a chance on me or whatever. My sister used to have back in the 70s. My sister used to have, back when we used to listen to records. My sister used to have the Super Trooper album and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the only band that was in Sweden. It was ABBA. That's it. Like they got so big, and it's when you think of Sweden, you think of ABBA, right? You know what I mean? Like you think of other things too, but you think Vikings and ABBA. What a contrast! What a contrast that was. It's like there you go. And the Swedish Chef, of course, because that's how Swedes talk. Every Swedish person I've ever talked to said that's how they talk. Now they lost all my Swedish subscribers. I'm just poking fun. But anyway, yeah, the good process. I'm kind of going through a strange little idea in my head what my next gig's going to be. Like what am I going to be performing? And one of the nice things about this jam night is it really does give me the experimental phase of it. Yeah, it's $40 every time I go. Not quite 40, but I carry $40 with me. I put 25 in gas, and the rest is just for, Coca-Cola. So I don't drink any beer while I drive. Not that I don't drink beer, but I don't remember last time I had a beer. I mean, I'm definitely not going to drink and drive. You know what I mean? And one too many, a million not enough. So I'm not even going to attempt it. And say, I'll just have one. I'm legally allowed to probably have one or 1.5, but you know how it goes, right? And it's not that I don't have the self-restraint or like that. It's also, I just don't need it. Like, I just don't need it. I'm not preaching to you. I'm just telling you, I love being on the stage sober because I get the full effect of the audience. It's the greatest. It's so, there's nothing, your senses are not dull. They're so good. And it keeps you sharp too, you know? It might relax you a bit, but it's like, for some people, take the edge off because, you know, nervousness or whatever. But I love the fact that, you know, like, that I don't need that, you know. I learned something. I listened to these reaction coaches, vocal coaches, and you see all these people like reacting to Nightwish videos and stuff like that, which are, you know, Nightwish videos are usually pretty epic, right? And the one I like is, what's her name? Rebecca, the vocal athlete. I get a kick out of watching that lady. Just the expressions on her face, just her mannerisms. I just adore her. I think she's so fun to watch, reacting to, like, she'll go from, like, I don't know, a Katy Perry song or something like that, or Ariana Grande, and then Devin Townsend, you know, is the next song, you know, what do you call it, Iron Maiden or something like that, and she'll listen to everything, and I love it when she listens to the metal and stuff like Halloween or Queensryche or something like that. It's like, and a lot of times she'll listen to the live performances, and you get a little bit of tips and tricks from her. She's like, well, this is what they're doing with their vocals, so it's good to listen to these people too. Some of them, you know, it's like, okay, you listen to it, they're like, okay, whatever, but she's really good to listen. Like, if you're into that kind of thing, it's like, it's interesting to watch their take on the reaction to the videos or whatever, to how singers are, you know, performing. And I like how she talks about, you know, it's not just about the singing. Look, like she was listening to a King Diamond video. She's like, this guy's all over the map. He goes from this scary voice that switches, you know, like he switches the genre right away into some real ghostly, soft. Well, if you've ever listened to King Diamond, it can be pretty epically creepy to, like, you know, to heavy, right? It's all over the place. It's not just, here's my voice, like Teresa's. I love Teresa's, but the lead singer, he does one range. That's it. You know, like, that's it. He has a great voice. He has a great manly voice, you know, very patriotic and all that. But he doesn't have, like, a crazy range on him, but it doesn't matter. Bruce Springsteen doesn't really have a crazy range. He sings in one tone. There's some guys and girls that sing all over the place. Bruce Dickinson is a masterpiece, you know what I mean? The guy can go all over the place in the same song. He goes from, like, a talking, you know, kind of like talks like a British peasant, and then suddenly he's like, you know, like, hallowed be thy name. You know, again, the vocal on that one is just outrageous. Or, you know, like these crazy streams, Wicker Man, awesome, you know. The Prisoner, up, down, all over the place, you know what I mean? You name it. You know, like, he just goes all over the place. Fear the Dark, what an epic song. I do want to do that one on the mandolin because it's really good. But I might do that one on the violin. That one would be really good. So, when she's talking about this stuff, she's talking about it and saying, you know, like, this guy right here is using his head voice. Right here is singing from his chest. Right here is singing from that. And one thing I've noticed by listening to, now mind you, I never took a vocal lesson, but I had vocal lesson books. And one of the things, and even Terja, the second or third Nightwish singer, said it really well, because she was, you know, an opera singer. And she said one of the hardest things that she had being an opera singer in a heavy metal band was if you strain, you hurt, you do damage, right? This has happened to Brian Johnson from AC/DC. You know, like the guy, you know, like when you get nodes on your vocal cords, okay, it's like a callus, and they have to cut it out after a while. It's happened to Rob Halford from Judas Priest and all these guys, outrageous screaming, right? And Brian Johnson a million times. Like, it's amazing these guys can even talk. You know, like it's that they have a voice left at all. And that's what she's talking about, is that learn how to sing so you don't need to force, right? And that takes time. Like, I'm getting better, and some people are starting out like, wow, dude, your stage vocals are like awesomely powerful. Especially when I do like the Teresa's type of stuff, the camera might not pick it up, and a lot of it is kind of like yelling in tune. But I like clear, loud vocals without straining. Now tonight, the vocals are very head voice oriented, except for, they're all head voice oriented. The most powerful one's going to be Cowboys from Hell, but the Summer of '69, there's going to be some gravel coming out on that one. That one, I do a good Bryan Adams. I know that. I know I do a good Bruce Springsteen and a good Bryan Adams. I'm in their vocal range, right? Now, Steve Perry from Journey, that man is difficult to sing. He is a very good vocalist. He's got nuance in his voice. He's got a sweet tone. The guy singing last week, what was the name there? That guy has a sweet tone. His voice is just naturally good. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if the guy had range or not, and he does. The guy last week, his range is like, whoa. It blows you away. The guy's a very good singer. Now, maybe he was in a choir when he was a kid. I never asked him. But he does sound vocally trained, And it's hard when you're trying to train yourself. And in fact, you can do more damage trying to do that if you don't understand the concepts of music. Being a musician, I understand the concepts of pitch, keys, stuff like that. I'm starting to sight read music again with the violin music I've been printing out, the mandolin music I've been printing out. My sight reading is going to take a couple of months to get up to scratch. But I'm at the point now where I can look at the notes and I can tell you what the note is. I have to read out the notes 2 or 3 times before I try to sight read. Because I learned that. So I understand how the pitches are going up, down. It's not just about trying to force a louder note. And a lot of people that are not vocally trained or not musicians to begin with, they don't play guitar, they just sing. They don't understand this until somebody explains it to them, right? So for me, I'm trying to incorporate the music theory with my vocals. And it takes time, It takes time. Your first gig, you don't sound good, And I saw another vocal coach, and I like what she said. She says, you're going to write yourself a permission slip saying it's okay to suck because you're just starting off. And some people will discourage people right from the get-go that these people are horrible, they can't hold a tune. And then they hear that and they make that their life philosophy. Well, I suck at it. I've only been on stage once. I've only learned how to sing 6 months ago or play guitar 6 months ago. I suck. I give up. And no, don't do that. It's okay to suck in the beginning. You're supposed to. You got to earn your way there. That's the way music works. That's the way everything in life works. You have to earn your way there. There is no free lunch. Maybe you're lucky and you just have a naturally good voice. Like most women tend to have a naturally good voice. Not all of them. Some of them sing like alley cats too. But a lot of them tend to have a really natural, pretty voice. But when it comes to belting out, Phantom of the Opera, there's very few women that can belt that out. There's almost no men that can belt that out. You know what I mean? That is a vocal challenge. That is for somebody who's into it. That is for somebody who's looking for the challenge, but also that understands music of how to get those ranges out of their vocals, how to get all that stuff. They understand that you can't just force those last operatic notes, that you have to control those. You have to control your breathing. You have to control all this stuff. It takes work. So when you hear somebody that's really good, I bet you if you heard the very first time they sang, they were probably horrible. They might have had a natural sweet tone, but they were probably singing like an alley cat. They just happened to have a sweet tone. So they're in key, out of key. They're all over the place. But once they learn how to stay in key, once they learn how to move up an octave, down an octave, and use a vocal range, boy, that opened the world to them. Motorcycles, cool. That probably opened the world to them. You know what I mean? But one of the things that with these videos, I don't know how many people watch them. If you do watch to the end, I would like to know if you actually watch to the end. That'd be kind of cool. But maybe somebody just mentioning that, maybe like, okay, what the hell is a 3-octave voice? You know what I mean? I only know 2 people in my life that could do that. Maybe 3. A 3-octave range is a very, very, most people are lucky if they can manage 2. I struggle for the second octave on most notes. Like I'm talking like F major, F sharp, third octave. Good luck. Good luck not dying. You know what I mean? Like that one's going to be really tough to get there. I can't get there. I just can't do it. You want to see an awesome vocal performance that I'm working on it, and it's She's Gone by Steel. What do you call it? Steel Panther. I'm gonna say Steel Panther. Steelheart. Never Let You Go and She's Gone. Listen to the duet between him and the piano. Like the original version it's a 90s metal ballad, right? But that guy, well, he's older than me. He's got to be in his 50s by now, and he still, although he struggles, still hits those notes. Especially the She's Gone one. Like that is unbelievable because he goes down basically. He does 4 pitches, and I'm like, he doesn't have a 4-octave note range, but he definitely has a 3-octave note range. It's incredible. You know what I mean? And the power and control the man has on his voice is just wow, just wow. What do you say about that, right? But I bet you. He didn't do that naturally. I bet you there was a lot of work on that, and I bet you there was a vocal coach getting him there. But he actually has a naturally nice voice, so he can pull it off. He has the range and the ability also for the nice voice. So he's got the best of both worlds, doesn't he? Now that said, he's aging, and when we age. Our prime voice, I don't know what age our prime voice is at. There's some people, they're opera singers till the day they die. You know what I mean? And other people, oops, a little bit line here. Other people, it's like, okay, they can sing in their 20s. They got no vocal cords left in their 30s and whatever. And then you got other people that they can hold on a little longer. I'm not doing too bad for a guy that's in his mid-40s. You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually not doing too bad. But it takes weekly work to be able to maintain my voice, to be able to sing. And that's one of the great things about these little jam nights. Yes, when I get a 3-hour night, right, of singing, trust me, the next day I want to take it off. I don't want to talk to anybody or nothing. I just want to take it easy on my voice. I couldn't sing like that 3-4 nights in a row. So the people that do, like by the 4th night, their vocals are shot. You see this on all the tours where the people just can't hit the notes anymore. It's just their vocals are just tired. I talked about this last week with playing guitar and stuff like that. You do get tired. You do need a downtime. So you have to respect the people that can sing songs that have lots of dynamic and lots of range and sing them night after night. Like the people that do Phantom of the Opera, sing that night after night. Like, oh, little squirrel, I'll find you. Yeah, you got out of the way. You knew what was good for him. You knew. And, okay, it's going to get bumpy. Here we are. And 3, 2, 1. Bumpy. How the heck are the roads so bad here with this tax space? I really don't understand it. But anyway, that said, yeah, tonight is going to be a fun night, no matter what. I just love these little things, but last two weeks have been really good. Like, this is my highlight for the week. It's like the only thing I got going on in my life for entertainment right now. But I'm very content with it. It's something I look forward to all the time, and a lot of time it's more the reaction of the people that I'm into. I just love it when people are yelling and hollering and having a good time. You know what I mean? I enjoy watching other people enjoy themselves. Part of my personality type, I guess. It's not just about me. It's about the sharing, like I said. It's about a lot of things. run into anybody here. But I would also, I guess, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Yeah, tonight's going to be, just basically about nailing the notes, getting everything, all notes accounted for. But I've been singing and playing these songs for a long time, with the exceptions of Cowboys from Hell. But Cowboys from Hell is not too, it goes well on the mandolin. Okay, I don't know if I can make it. Yeah. What's with the road signs in the middle of the freaking road? Yeah, you're trying to kill everybody, man. Oh, somebody smoked that sign. Well, they put it on the sidewalk. Don't put it on the road. Yeah. What the heck are they thinking? Can I get in here? Please tell me to get in here. Oh, that's motorcycles. Can I get in? Oh, this is a tight squeeze. Oh, this is a tight squeeze. Oh, man, that's going to be a sobriety test for people. Looks like, what do we got there? Oh, we got a chopper. Nice. Got a good parking spot. Nice. Nice and nice. Here we go. Don't go into the ditch. Boy. Turn my lights off. Windows up. Heads watered. There we go. So now I'm going to go in and, yeah, there we go.